Boxing truth here. The Triple G legend continues. Another stoppage win added to his record. 23 straight wins coming by knockout. 36-0 with 33 knockouts. Another successful defense of his middleweight title. In what was a entertaining fight and competitive for about 3 rounds, Kell Brook had success in the first couple of rounds, especially the second round. I gave him the second round, but was hurt early in the first round. Was caught against the ropes, a place that you cannot be against Golovkin, because you're pretty much in his line of fire of his punching power when you're against the ropes and you're trapped in the corner. It's the worst place you can be against Golovkin. Much safer to be in the middle of the ring, but Golovkin was just too big, too strong for Kell Brook. He used his strength and his aggressiveness to walk Brook down, and after the third round, you could just see that Golovkin was slowly but surely on his way to another stoppage win, as Brook looked spent. After the third round, he had some success. He was able to land his combinations, his uppercuts, made Golovkin look uncomfortable there in some moments, especially the first 3 rounds. It was a very entertaining fight, the first 3 rounds. You saw Brook was able to do what he wanted to do, land combinations. He was very skillful, fast, and Golovkin was taking a lot of shots, eating a lot of leather. His defense wasn't on point tonight. Looked a little vulnerable at times, but Golovkin just had no respect for Kell Brook's power. He couldn't put a dent in him. Brook would hit him with some big shots and nothing would happen. Couldn't get Golovkin's respect, and Golovkin said that he knew he wasn't a middleweight. He felt it after the first round. He's a good fighter, but he just doesn't have the power. And it didn't help that Brook just wasn't going to the body. If you can't hurt him to the head, try to see if you can put a dent to his body. And hardly any body shots thrown by Kell Brook. Golovkin was smart, added a lot of pressure, was very successful with his jab, was even popping Kell Brook, snapping his head back, and was even outboxing him at times, coming forward. He was constantly popping him with the jab, would sometimes get away from it, and he would become wild, and it would just try to run Brook over. And the fight was pretty much over after the third round. Brook was starting to paw at his eye. He looked like he looked very damaged after the third round, and it was just a matter of time. You could see that the body shots and the power and the strength was just taking its toll, and Brook looked a little spent. He looked a little winded, a little tired, and it looked like the will was gone, as Golovkin was just chopping away and just putting too much pressure and landing some vicious shots to the head and body. Brook showed a lot of toughness. He didn't go down, but he was taking a shellacking in round 5, and I really can't argue with the decision of his trainer to stop the fight, to throw in the towel. It was the fight was pretty much over. Brook just didn't have anything left. He didn't have much in the tank. Couldn't really do anything to turn it around. Golovkin just gets stronger as the fight goes on. He's a machine. The guy's a truck. Can take punches, can continue to come forward. No matter how many times you hit him, he'll keep coming forward and try to fuck you up. And that's exactly what he did. It wasn't his best performance, but he did what he was supposed to do. He was able to get a stoppage win within 6 rounds. I thought he would stop him a lot later. I thought Brook's speed would be much more troublesome for Golovkin for a number of rounds, but it was actually bothering him for about 2.5 rounds, and then Golovkin was able to turn it around, was able to land big shots, and was hurting Brook throughout the fight. He hurt him as early as the first round. And it was what it was. I mean, Golovkin is just too strong. He can't be fighting welterweights. This fight, he had no choice. He needed a big fight. He needed the date. And Kell Brook was the only one with enough balls to fight him. And now all these PBC fighters are talking shit after the result. saying he should go challenge somebody. Why don't y'all step up and fight him? But y'all want $10-15 million when y'all fighting on Spike TV, and y'all know pay-per-view stars for asking for that type of money. Take what you're worth. Stop being spoiled and being overpaid by your advisor when you don't got no fucking fan base. Can't even sell out your arena, your hometown arena between each other in Jacobs and Quillen. Just take what you're worth. Take the fight that a lot of people are avoiding, a lot of middleweights are avoiding, or don't. Stop talking shit. Step in the ring instead of barking on a Twitter page. But Haman fighters don't want to do shit. They want to get overpaid for light work, but don't want to take a risky fight, even though it still will be their biggest paydays to date. But another impressive win for Golovkin. He wasn't able to knock Brook down. Brook was surprisingly wasn't knocked down in the fight. Didn't get knocked out. He was disappointed with the stoppage. He felt he could go on. Of course, he's a warrior. He's tough. He's gonna want to continue to fight. But he was taking a shellacking, and his trainer did the right thing. Kell Brook is still a remarkable fighter. He still has a future. He still has opponents out there he could fight. And he stated in his post-fight interview that he's willing to go down, that he wants to go down to 154 at a more natural weight class for him and see what he could do down at that weight. I think that's the perfect weight for him. He needs to develop his body into a middleweight frame. Besides, he was fighting Gennady Golovkin. He was fighting a monster tonight. Just too much of a task, too much of an ask to go up 2 weight divisions and to fight a bad motherfucker in Gennady Golovkin. But that was the result. It was an entertaining fight while it lasted. I know a lot of people didn't get what they expected. Some people did. They called it down the middle within 6 rounds. I was off. I thought it would be 10 rounds. But Golovkin continues to show that why he's one of the most avoided fighters in the game, or probably the most avoided fighter in the game. Guy's just very difficult to beat, and right now I don't see any middleweight defeating him right now. No junior middleweight either. The only challenges will be maybe 2 divisions up, and that's a compliment to Golovkin, because you got to go 2 divisions above his weight to find somebody to even challenge him, test him, or possibly beat him. But congratulations to Gennady Golovkin. We'll see what's next for him in his career. Maybe the WBA will enforce the mandatory. I don't know if HBO will have the funding to put on that fight. Maybe that fight could happen next year if they put on a pay-per-view, since Jacob's going to want a lot of money to take the fight. If not, maybe a mandatory defense. I doubt Saunders will take it in December. His next opponent has yet to be announced. Most likely a cherry-pick fight. So we're going to have to wait some time before we see Golovkin in another significant event, as a lot of middleweights are continuing to duck and dodge him and just more interested in talking shit about him on Twitter. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.